Hello guys, it's Dale Walker back, whole shot retired, working on my friend's Don's 1250 FA. He has it sold to a buddy of his and we're getting close. Yesterday I got the muffler all done, topped off the coolant, oil change, went out and test drove it for the first time since the fall over, and everything seems fine. It runs nice and smooth. But he needs a new chain. Sprockets we already replaced about 15,000 miles on it ago, but the chain has more miles on it than that, and it's getting wasted. So we want to make sure this bike is in tip-top shape for his buddy, and he's actually picking it up tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to do a little thing of putting a new chain on his bike for you, and I have one left in stock, which is the Bike Master BMZR 530 heavy duty O-ring chain. I think it's 11,800 tensile strength. It's right on par with DID or RK. Those are the ones I used to stock. So we have to cut it down a little bit. I think it's 120 links and it's 118 on a stock bike, if I remember right. So anyway, we're going to get started on that, and then tomorrow will just be, I get this done, and then tomorrow is going to be detailing the bike and getting it ready, and then his buddy's going to come actually here to my shop and pick it up, and Don's going to be here with him. So, okay, let's get started. All right, guys, first thing I like to do on a 1250 or 1200 is go ahead and remove the chain guard. It's easy, 2 bolts. I usually use my T-handle Phillips heavy duty. It's actually a factory Honda tool I've had for years. And that way, that's just out of the way when you cut the chain to grab onto it, whatever. Okay. All right. So now let me get my grinder set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. A lot of you have air tools. A lot of you have tools of all kind. This is my favorite grinder I think I've ever owned. It's a little bigger, but they're awesome. This is a Makita, and which one is it? It's the LR2 1670 part number. Sell it at Home Depot. About $100, I think it's something like that. $110, something like that. It's fantastic. So I'm using about an 1/8 inch wide cutoff wheel on it. You could even use a little skinnier one. And what we're going to do is I already put this chain on a few years ago. So this is where I peened over the link. Okay? If you didn't have this like this already, then you'd want to grind these pins flush into the link and even a little more. So I'm going to do this one because it's going to be less grinding. I'm going to go ahead and grind clear through these down into the link a little bit. So let's do that right now. You just want to go easy. I like to have the chain in the right spot so I can kind of put my fingers on the swing arm or something for balance. Okay, the only trouble with what I just did is on a link like this, you're going to have that whole diameter to be able to use a punch on that. If it was harder to get apart than this. So we'll see if my chain breaker gets this, at least the outer link off. If not, I'll have to roll it around and do it on these two. I thought I'd just try it on this. I normally do it on the normal pins. So let me get this into position. We'll try the chain break. You want a good quality chain breaker like this. This one's actually made in England. Guess what the name of it is? King Dick. It's powerful. Let's give it a try. I already did it a little bit. Looks like it might be fine, even though it's the original peened over pins. We'll see. Might not. The thing is whether it's going to have enough pushing on the pin itself to push the chain out. I mean, excuse me, the link off. You can see I don't wear gloves. I probably should, but I hate gloves. I like the feel of what I'm doing. I'll wear them if I have to. All right, so now what we're going to do is going to roll this around. Excuse me. And I'm going to use a punch right here. And let's just see if this is a knockout or I have to do a different link. Nope, there it is. Okay, that's that. So yeah, once you get that outer clip pushed in and you see that you got some clearance on the back side of the link, then you get your punch, and the largest diameter that's a hair smaller than, you know, one of the pins on the chain. Okay. But as big as you can get, that's still going to be slightly smaller than the pin. All right, guys, the next step you want to do before you take the chain off the sprocket, doesn't really matter, but I'm just letting it hang there for now. It's going to fall off in a second anyway. Go ahead and take loose the lock nuts on the chain adjusting bolts here. Okay, break those loose. Go ahead and give each bolt a shot of WD-40. Maybe back the nut off three turns or something. And just lube those up a little bit. Okay? So you need a 10 millimeter little wrench or whatever, an open end, 12 and a 10. The axle on a 1250 is 36 millimeter. Buy a good quality socket. This is a Craftsman. Any of them will work. I have an extended Harbor Freight 1/2-inch drive ratchet, or you could use a breaker bar. It's 72 foot-pounds. It's not that big a deal. So we want to break loose the axle. And what's nice about the 1250, the axle on the other side's captured in the chain adjusted block. So you don't even have to mess with that. Just back it off till it's, you know, freed up by hand. Got a little slop in the washer. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to run these in quite a ways. And then you're going to push the wheel forward. Okay? So let me do that part, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, guys, the next step is going to be to thread the new chain onto the sprockets using the old existing chain. You can go ahead, instead of using the new link, you can use the old link you just pressed out. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to attach the... Doesn't matter if you push it in from the outside or the inside. This is just to pull it through. Okay. So once you get it connected, all right. Hey, Dawn. If you have a helper, it's a little better. Now you're going to get all dirty. use this. You just kind of barely keep tension on it. You keep a little tension on the chain where you're pulling it through, where it's connected, so it doesn't fall off. Keep it straight. Got it? All right. Here, I got it. I got it. I'm just going to do it. Get the rag off there for me. I'm not using the rag, Don. You want to keep tension on it. The last thing you want to do is have that fall apart, and keep it straight while you're threading it through the countershaft sprocket. And here it comes already, see? Okay. Well, now we're in good shape. Now you can go ahead, pull the old one off, throw it in the garbage. All right, guys, spent about 15-20 minutes cleaning the sprocket. I used a wire brush that's brass. Put a cardboard under the tire. Just kept soaking it with WD-40. Scrub-a-dub-dub. It's a messy job. And with just paper towels, blue shop towels. Got the outside surface all nice. Then I got all the teeth all cleaned where the rollers are going to hit and engage. And the sprocket still looks like new. So no reason to change the sprocket. We put these on, I forget how many miles ago, a front and a rear. Okay, so now I'm going to get set up. And we're going to do the next step, and that's cutting the new chain to length. All right, guys, I got the new chain all threaded through. I got the wheel pushed forward equally on each side, pretty close. If you have a 1250 with stock sprockets, okay, we're going to go, this adjuster is going to be approximately 1 inch forward. It's a hair under that now, but it doesn't matter. Just say 1 inch, okay? And yep, 118 is a stock chain. I don't care if it's got a couple little whip-de-doos here. So yeah, we're taking out the second link. It's a 120 link, so this is the one we're going to take out. So go ahead and so you're not mixed up. X marks the spot. That's the one we got to remove. Okay, guys, I get a couple heavy-duty nylon ties. Bring the sprocket up so you have work room right here. This is the one we're taking out with the X. Okay. Snug it down on the link down from it, so you're not going to hit it with the grinder. And we're going to go ahead and grind these off into the plate, just like I did before. So let's get that done right now. See, I'm below the surface of the plate. I got a little divot in it. That's what you want. All right, that looks good. Make sure you always wear a mask. All right, guys. Well, the best way to do this is I used the old master link again. Just shoved it through the new chain. Doesn't matter if it has a bunch of slack. You can't do it up on the sprocket. You got to have it somewhere you can get to both link pins we're going to push out. So let's do that right now. Or try to. Most chains do not argue with King Dick. That's him. He's the king. No kings, except for this one. Yeah, just check the link once in a while. It's just stuck together. It doesn't fall out on you. All right, make sure it's completely bottomed. It only pushes in so far and then hits on a little shoulder on the push pin of the tool here, okay? Check this one again. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. So now, let me move the camera again, and we're going to put that up on the sprocket so it has some support, and we're going to try the punch method again. All right, I got it set up, so let's give it a try. Here's the master link. We're taking out these two links. Well, this one and this one. Make sure your punch is just a hair smaller than the hole. There you go. Okay, very good. Now we're going to lift this out, take this link off, and we're going to come back. And the next job is to put the new assembly all on with the grease and the O-rings, and then use the proper tool to peen that over. All right, guys, most all chains come with a little grease packet for the O-rings. So you want to make sure you lube this up pretty good. Maybe even put a teeny bit on the O-rings too. It's kind of messy. I just deal with it and get it on my fingers and on the link. Teeny bit more on the O-rings. Okay, and then we're going to rotate. We're going to get the chain up there and get the link shoved through the back. All right, put it up on here, shoved a little wedge using my half-inch ratchet between the tire. It's my dog. I think he has bad gas. Okay. And this is always messy and it's kind of a pain. So what you got to do is you got to get this whole assembly lubed up and on here, okay? And then you're going to use a big pair of channel locks to try to squeeze the link together first, just so it won't fall off, okay? All right, guys, for pressing a chain together, I use a Motion Pro tool. I'll show you the part number when I get done. This is going to back up the, see the little indentations? That backs up the link, so when you push it together, you're not going to push the pins out. And the other one, on the pushing side, has holes in it, so you can press the links so the pins come through. See? And it's a pain. You got to get everything lined up and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of attachments. It takes some practice to figure out what does what. But this is pretty simplified. And this is made for a 530 chain, this particular setup I'm using. And it looks pretty lined up. Yeah, I have a Honda tool that's twice as heavy duty as this one. But the problem is, it doesn't fit this. It's in the old days for slightly smaller. Okay, so we're not using this one. This is the pushing one. You put another tool in here to peen it. We're only using this one here. All right, guys. I'm working on this a little bit now, but so you just want to eyeball through here, and may need to get a longer wrench. This trouble with this thing, the handle's too short, and sometimes I'll rig up something to put on here and keep it from moving, so you can get the pins. You want to get the pins sticking out, and you want to squeeze it together just enough where they're coming through the tool, and then keep an eye on the O-rings. If you go too tight, you're going to squish out the O-rings, then you got to press it apart again a little bit. So just be aware of that, but I'm going to work on that and get that finished and ready for the next step. All right, so the tool now has the same piece in it with the 2 holes, but you're going to do 1 pin at a time. So the chain is going to, where am I? I'm sorry. Yeah, the chain's going to bottom in the center on the other side so the pin won't push through. And then right here, bit of focus. There you go. I'm sorry, I'm in the chair. Yeah, it won't focus good, but on the end here, that's the little peening. It's got a little ball on it, okay? To go inside your links right here, and that little ball is just going to mushroom the outer pin out and then bottom out, okay? And it only has to be mushroomed a little bit. And let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. I see here what I'm doing here. There you go. Maybe you can see that better. Trying my best. It's hard to do that. Okay, so we're getting this unit on the back. We're getting this started here. And if you can see the tool, it's in the center. See, it's not going to let the pin in the link press out. Okay, so we're going to snug this here. And you just got to work on this. And you might need a longer wrench. Let me work on this because it takes a little while. Might take some dinking around, and then I'll show you how far I peened them over when I'm done. Okay guys, I thought I would show you the Motion Pro kit for riveting the chain. There it is right there. 08-058 part number. It comes in this blown plastic case like a puzzle. Put it back in your toolbox. Alright guys, so that's how much you want it to be peened over. Just enough where they're mushroomed. Okay? You don't want to squeeze too tight again and have any of the O-rings. You still want the chain to be able to be moved. It's going to be a little stiff anyway because it's full of grease. But anyway, then once that's done, you can go ahead and adjust your chain. Make sure you got it even on both sides. Okay. I like my chains a little bit on the loose side. This is going to stretch even more. How I like to adjust my chain is pulling up on the bottom row. Okay. And I like 1 inch to 1.25 inches play. Keep in mind this is a new chain and it's strong, but it's still going to stretch. But you don't want to make a tight spot. So you're better off to have about 1 inch, 1.25 inches. And I've got it on the center stand right now, and sometimes when you tighten the axle, it will tighten up. So make sure you got this against the adjusters. Snug the nut down just with a extended wrench first with the socket. Double check your chain. Double check your marks here. Make sure they're even on both sides. Okay? And a lot of times when you go to tighten this, unless you can rest against this, the wheel may cock this way a little and you have a gap to the adjuster. So keep an eye on that. And it takes a couple tries, but that way once you get it perfect, when you got to adjust it, you can break this loose just a smidge, break loose the lock nut, and just go like a 1/4 turn on each side, and then double check it, and you'll see your marks are right on the money. Now these kind of rotate too, because it's pushing on one side. They're not a billet machine piece, but that's it, okay? I like how guys on the internet, I could have done that in 15 minutes. Yeah, sure you could. Yeah, then the chain flies off the bike. take your time, spend the extra time, do it right, and you're going to be a happy camper. And then break it in gently. Don't go out and hammer on it. That'll make a tight spot. Okay? And your final adjustment, you want to sit on the bike off the center stand and reach down and pull up on the row. So you have a little bit of weight on the bike so you get the angle of the swing arm. You're more to the center point a little bit. And then you want to roll it on your center stand and check for a tight spot. And if you get a slighter, tighter spot, mark that link with an X, and that's where you want to adjust the chain. You don't want to come around and be loose then tight, loose then way too tight. But if you break in these chains, whether it's a DID, RK, or this heavy duty Bike Master is just as good, they last pretty damn good if you keep good care of it. Anyway, this concludes this video, and I hope you learned something by watching it. I know it's a little long, but that's the way it is to make it properly done. We'll catch you tomorrow. The buyer's coming, Don's buddy. So tomorrow is detail day. And then I'll roll the bike out and we'll take a video of the bike when we're all done. See you then.